Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the brothers that are doing this work in sincerity, truth, and with charity. I am the brother Abraham from the GMS camp here in Chicago. This lesson is going to be on the parable of the wedding banquet, okay, in Matthew's the 22nd chapter. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read from the top. This is Matthew's 22 and verse 1. It says, And Yahushai answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Alright, so this is how the kingdom of heaven is. You know, Yahushua is comparing it to a king who made a feast, a wedding feast for his son. Right? Now, you would imagine that a king making a wedding feast for his son, who is a prince, that would be an exclusive feast where not everybody could be invited, but you know, he invited everybody who wanted to come, and nobody wanted to go. Alright, verse 4. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. So everything was ready. Nobody had to do anything. All they had to do was show up and be prepared. Right? But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their cities. So the king's servants are what today are the prophets. Okay, and the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, sent forth his prophets to bid Israel to the marriage, to this feast, to make them ready for the kingdom of heaven to come. But they make light of it. They're too busy in their worldly affairs. Yeah, you have to work. Yeah, you might have a business. Yeah, you might have kids. Yeah, you might have matters. But when it comes to the point that it interferes with your relationship and your duty as a man to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and do the things that's required of you, that's when it becomes a problem. Okay. Verse 7, it says, But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Okay? They were not worthy. I'm gonna go up and get a precept for verse 6 when it says, And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. Alright, let's get the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 36. And 15. And the Lord Yahweh God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people until there was no remedy. Alright, so this is the history of Israel and the history of the prophets. Alright, the Most High giving the warning, showing his compassion, alright, sending his prophets and letting him know their evil ways and telling him to repent and to come back to the Heavenly Father and worship him and only him. But what they said no, man. They basically said no and rejected Yahweh Shem Yahushai and his prophets. Alright, and that moved the Lord to wrath against his people. So it says, they which were bidden to the wedding were not worthy. Why were they not worthy? Let's get Matthew chapter 10, verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Okay, so when it comes down to your father or mother or family or daughter or whatever, to the point where you can't do this work, you can't go out to the highways and byways, you can't do your lessons, you can't do your study and supping with the Lord, that's when there's a problem. That's when these worldly affairs you get caught up in, and now all of a sudden, what are you gonna do when the Most High comes back, man? Are you gonna tell him you're too busy? Alright, so it's not that you can't love them, it's not that you can't see them and spend time with them, but this work has to outbalance everything else, no matter what. Okay. Let's get the book of Luke 14 and 17. It says 16, Luke 14 and 16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are not ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. Alright, so just like today, you see people make excuse, or they're just not willing to give up or to sacrifice the things, these worldly things in their life in order to do this work. Okay, and it says those that find their life shall lose it, and those that lose their life for my sake shall find it, roughly paraphrasing. That's basically what it is, man. And it's just like the parable of the sower. Okay, the seeds that fell on different grounds, the seed that fell on stony places, the seeds that fell by the thorns and stuff, and then there's seeds that fell on took deep root, and those plants flourished. All right, unlike the seeds that fell on the stony ground, couldn't take no root, and the sun burnt them up and it withered. And then the seeds that fell amongst the thorns and stuff like that, got caught up and couldn't produce anything. It didn't flourish. All right, those are the ones that the cares of this world, took them, man. All right, so those that fell in the good seed are those that were worthy for this marriage, for this feast that the Most High has prepared. Okay. So going back to Matthew's 22nd chapter and rereading verse 8. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore unto the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. All right. So scriptures to talk about. Let me just get instead of just butchering it. I believe it was Matthew's 10th chapter. This one. And unto whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. And when ye come into an house, salute it, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come unto it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. Alright. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of the house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Alright. So through the Spirit, we discern who might be worthy, right? And then we just plant that seed. The Most High is the one that's gonna give the increase, right? So going back to Matthew's 22nd chapter. Off at verse 9. So our job is to go out to the highways and byways and being fishers of men. All right, for the elect. All right, that's ultimately the goal. So verse 10, it says, so those servants went out to the highways and gathered together as many as they found, both good and bad, and the wedding was furnished with guests. Alright, so now, there's the gathering. The gathering is here, and amongst this gathering is good and bad. Alright, so those bad are going to be rooted out at the end of the day, because there's still a sifting process going on. Alright, there's a filtering process. And those bad are going to be cast out, and those good are going to be the ones that are left. Alright, and when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how canst thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Alright, so dude just came in just for the party. He didn't come ready. He just wanted to freeload on the food, have a good time. But he didn't prepare himself. He wasn't ready. Alright? The precept to this is in Revelation. Revelation 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Okay, so the Most High is going to come like a thief in the night. Alright, his watchmen are those watching in their watchtower, preparing themselves. Alright, with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what those garments are. There's knowledge, there's wisdom, and understanding. Alright, so when the Most High comes back, we won't be found caught lacking, basically. You know, because they have been prepared. They have been preparing themselves for this very moment. Alright, and that day is not going to take them as a thief in the night, because they were prepared, or they were ready, and they didn't have to get ready. Verse 13 in Matthew's 22nd chapter. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few chosen. Alright, and who are those chosen? The ones that are keeping their watch. The ones that are constantly praying to the Most High. That are supping with Him when they're reading and studying. The ones that are battling to stay in the Spirit, putting their flesh under subjection, doing this work, doing their videos, going out to the highways and byways. Alright, their works show their faith. And by that's what the Most High loves to see. That's what pleases the Most High. A man's faith. Faith and meekness are His delight. And how do you show your faith? By your works. Right? Loving the Most High in deed and in truth. Right? Those are the few chosen people that are going to be worthy. Alright, so the Most High has prepared a feast for His servants. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteous is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yet perfect goodness and wisdom. So that's the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 22 and 4. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. Alright, but what? They were not worthy. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 1. And he saith unto me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Alright. So those that are worthy for this for the feast, for the wedding, for the kingdom of heaven, that's the first fruits, that's the elect. Alright. So our job is to go bid them to the marriage and be fishers of men. Alright, that's what we go and do. This is Matthew 10 and verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So that's our number one job and our number one priority, to usher in and preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Alright, that the Most High is going to visit the world which He made, and He comes with a sword. Alright, He says, give them warning from me. Who has warned these people from the evil to come? His servants, the prophets, rising up betimes. Jeremiah 44:4, howbeit I say unto you, all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Alright, so the prophets of the Most High said, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. And Jerusalem is those that killeth the prophets, man. So they offended the Most High's little ones. It says, woe to them who the offense cometh from, man. So 2/3 of our people are gonna be destroyed, man. And ultimately the elect is gonna receive that mercy. They're the ones who are gonna be in this great feast of the Most High, which is the kingdom of heaven, where plenteous is made ready and everything is prepared for us. And you gotta believe that. Alright, and if you're doing this work in sincerity and in truth, and you got your wedding garment on, alright, you're not gonna be found naked. So the Most High is a man that He cannot lie. So He got everything ready for us, man. We're just patiently waiting, continuing to labor in this work, and we're almost at the finish line. Alright, so I'm ending it there. There wasn't was an edifying lesson. As always, all honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Until next time.